You see, I'm a public official, so everything I do is for the public's perusement. So my job is to do the best that I can. I've not been funded. They pay you to not talk about things they don't want you to talk about. They tell you that.
Katt Williams participated in an interview 2 weeks ago, and the statements he made may have effectively sealed his own professional fate. This is not an exaggeration. His eyes moved nervously, and his voice occasionally trembled. For the first time in a lengthy and turbulent career marked by legal issues, arrests, and conflicts with prominent celebrities, Katt did not speak as a comedian. He spoke as a man who appeared to recognize that circumstances were turning against him. He issued a stark warning. The entertainment industry is not merely dangerous, it is deliberately targeting specific individuals. According to him, these individuals are not simply being harmed in a figurative or professional sense. They are being eliminated in a literal physical sense. The first name he mentioned in this context was Malcolm-Jamal Warner.
There's a God side and the other side. If there are moral things and things that are immoral, if there is this side or that side, it can't be left up to thought process. I'm an enforcer on this side.
To begin, let us acknowledge a fact that is widely known. Malcolm-Jamal Warner's recent death has been extensively reported. He tragically drowned off the coast of Costa Rica during what was described as a quiet vacation with his family. Media outlets labeled the incident as accidental. The official autopsy concluded that the cause of death was asphyxiation due to submersion in water. However, Katt Williams rejects this explanation. In his interview, he expressed, without ambiguity, that he believes Warner was deliberately silenced, and he is not the only one holding that view. Within certain circles in Hollywood, similar suspicions are quietly circulating. Warner had reportedly begun promoting a more autonomous and independent perspective through his podcast and other personal projects. According to these whispers, he may have become entangled in something far more dangerous than a simple ocean current. One only needs to observe Williams' facial expression during that interview, a combination of intense anger and deep fear. This was not a casual opinion. It was a grave warning from someone who has already experienced several close encounters with the more secretive and sinister elements of the entertainment industry. When he addressed Warner's death, Williams was blunt. He described it as a deliberate message, an ominous signal directed at other entertainers who might be considering speaking out or deviating from the accepted narrative. What intensified the weight of his claim was his subsequent admission. Katt Williams declared that he is currently receiving threats. He claimed these threats have come from anonymous sources, some delivered digitally, others in person. He further stated that he is being followed. Although such declarations are not uncommon among public figures known for challenging the mainstream, there was something distinctly unsettling about his account. This time, he has presented evidence to support his fears, and this time, someone has already died.
Early morning swim, he had gone out to the coastline just before sunrise, and a little after sunrise, got into the water. Not too many details about what exactly happened once he was in the water, but authorities did end up finding his body actually hundreds of yards away down the shoreline. His body was discovered in a rocky cove. It was brushed up.
The case surrounding Malcolm-Jamal Warner's death contains numerous irregularities, especially when examined with scrutiny. According to official reports from authorities in Costa Rica, Warner was initially rescued by bystanders after becoming caught in a powerful ocean current. Cardiopulmonary resuscitation was administered for over 20 minutes. Nevertheless, he was declared deceased at the scene. However, this is where the narrative begins to raise questions. A second individual, a 29-year-old man from Nicaragua, had also entered the water to assist in the rescue effort. Initial reports indicated that he was in critical condition. Yet, just a few days later, it was reported that he had made a complete recovery. He was discharged from medical care, reportedly without any injuries. There was no further information, no name, no statement to the public, and no follow-up from the media. His identity remains undisclosed. This unusual silence is what sparked online speculation regarding a possible silent witness conspiracy. Internet researchers, along with at least one anonymous source claiming to be a former security professional employed by a major studio, have suggested that the Nicaraguan man may have observed something significant, either while in the water or immediately afterward. The prevailing theory is that he was instructed to remain silent, rapidly discharged from the hospital, and possibly relocated to prevent further inquiries. What amplifies the concern is the complete lack of media interest. Despite being directly involved in the same incident that claimed the life of Malcolm-Jamal Warner, a highly respected actor who played a pivotal role in shaping African-American representation on mainstream American television, this man has been entirely absent from the public narrative. Why has no journalist attempted to speak with him? Why has no media outlet pursued this angle? This was not an anonymous beachgoer with no connection to the incident. He was a participant in a tragedy that affected millions, and yet the silence surrounding him remains both conspicuous and deeply troubling.
So unbelievable there. And Branson, I also was reading that just days ago, he had another podcast episode that was dropped, and now a lot of fans are starting to really listen to that as maybe one of his last times that you hear.
This raises a critical question. Was Malcolm-Jamal Warner's death merely a tragic consequence of being in the wrong place at the wrong time? Or was he nearing the revelation of a truth that powerful forces within the entertainment industry did not want to be revealed? In the weeks leading up to his vacation, Warner had become increasingly outspoken. He used his podcast, his interviews, and his personal conversations to express deeper concerns. He spoke frequently about legacy, about defining himself as more than just the character Theo Huxtable. He began challenging the mainstream media's persistent tendency to reduce the Black experience to a single, oversimplified narrative. Although he had not yet named specific individuals or organizations, it was clear that he was beginning to challenge the accepted boundaries. Katt Williams believes that this defiance may have made Warner a target. And if Warner's death was not an accident but a calculated act, then Williams fully understands that he could be next. Williams is not new to making controversial decisions. He has publicly stated that he has turned down more money than most people could imagine, specifically 4 separate offers, each worth $50 million. When asked why, he told Club Shay Shay during an interview in January, "To protect my integrity." He went even further. Referring to a prominent industry figure, he said, "P. Diddy wants to host parties," and added, "You have to tell him no." Although he laughed while delivering the remark, the underlying message was serious and pointed. These gatherings, now under scrutiny in official legal investigations, with court documents and sealed indictments emerging, are suspected of involving far more than innocent entertainment.